Yossi snaps out of despair. Can saying a few words over and over really...
I'm Carl Parker. We want to tell you about some severe storms in your area, and we're watching a couple of very mean storms right now making their way from eastern Maryland into Delaware and another one along Long Island. New severe thunderstorm warning to tell you about now, and that is including parts of Maryland and Delaware, Caroline, Kent, and Queen Anne's counties under warning for the possibility of 70-mile-per-hour wind. You can see this big sort of backward C shape right in there. That is what we call a bow echo. Those storms are notorious for producing a lot of wind, and we are seeing a lot of wind in the velocity data. These green and blue colors right in there indicating where there is very strong wind, 60 to 70-mile-per-hour wind now coming into Goldsboro, not very far away from Dover right now and moving east pretty rapidly, about 40 miles per hour. There you see it's going to be coming into Wyoming at 10:25, moving into Dover at 10:29, now moving into Frederica at 10:34, and Milford at 10:40. Now moving east or a little south of east, about 35 miles per hour. So heads up there in Dover, some very strong wind on the way, certainly capable of bringing down some tree limbs and power lines and possibly some entire trees as well. Not very far away from Dover at this time, now just about 15 minutes away. Now I want to take you up into Long Island, and here we're looking at a severe warning also for a 70-mile-per-hour wind. That's Suffolk County under warning, and the storm coming right over the radar. Again, you've got a little bit of that C shape right there, a little bit of bowing going on, and potential for some 70-mile-per-hour wind. That coming up towards a Riverhead very quickly here, moving a little bit more towards the north of east, and that coming into Riverhead at 10:20, East Quogue at 10:26, Hampton Bays 10:31, and North Sea at 10:41. And we have already had some reports of some tree limbs down, some power poles snapped as well. Another report has just come in southwest of that. This is near Holbrook, and large tree limbs ripped off a tree near Michael Murphy Park. So these storms certainly do mean business as they're moving through the eastern part of Long Island. We'll continue to follow these storms, and we'll have more updates as necessary. We now return you to programming already in progress.
And begin to flatten it out. Yossi takes several logs and forms them into an arrow pointing toward the direction he's headed. He takes more logs and...
I'm Carl Parker. We want to get you up to date on a couple of very mean storms that are now in parts of Maryland, Delaware, and also New York. First of all, a warning for Maryland and Delaware, and we are looking at Caroline, Kent, and Queen Anne's counties under warning until 11:15. Motion on the cell is east at about 35 miles per hour. I want you to notice this backward C shape right there. That is what we call a bow echo, and these storms are known for producing wind. So we've got a threat for 70-mile-per-hour wind, and the apex of that bow, which is typically where you see the strongest wind, is now just west of Dover and getting ready to move in. So it's going to be there in just a matter of moments coming into Dover, most likely here probably inside of 8 minutes or so, into Camden at 10:34, moving into Frederica at 10:42, and Bowers at 10:46. So damaging wind is going to be the primary threat with this storm. 70-mile-per-hour wind again is going to be the concern here. Also a pretty good bit of lightning showing up with this storm as well as it moves along to the east. Now up into Long Island, fast-moving storm here, moving east at about 40 miles per hour, a little bit north of east. Here, too, we're looking at a bit of a bow echo. That's Suffolk County under warning. The storm does appear to be weakening some, but we've still got a damaging wind threat. And again, that is moving just a little to the north of east. Little bow showing up here as well as that moves off to the northeast there, or east-northeast, moving into Hampton Bays 10:31, North Sea at 10:39, and into Shelter Island at 10:51. Again, a threat for 70-mile-per-hour wind as that moves along to the east. We'll continue to follow these storms and break in as necessary. We now return you to programming already in progress.
The power I have, I try to swim.